Well, welcome to another session of Elevate and Empower, the Vibrant Living Women's Summit. I'd like you to get ready to be inspired by the incredible ReGina Smithwick. She is a dynamic force in media and motivation. She is a brilliant creator and a producer behind the hit talk show and podcast, Let's Talk 1943. If you haven't, check it out. She is an acclaimed radio personality and a motivational speaker, and she is the creator of the transformational program called Wring Out Your Sponge. And you're going to learn more about that today. That is the title of today's message. It is designed to help people cultivate and discover their purpose. She is an incredible keynote speaker and the author of 8 books, I believe. Join me in welcoming ReGina to the stage. So, ReGina, I would love to hear a little bit how you got started in all this.
Oh, it was a beautiful Saturday afternoon in 2019 where I always say I had a beautiful breakdown. And I just had like a mental breakdown. I was tired of being sick and tired. I was tired of living the life that I was living. I was not living in my purpose. I wasn't living in purpose. I was just floating and existing. And God had to kind of humble me and talk to me and get me to a point that I had to listen. I wasn't able to listen before. And all of a sudden, everything just came to focus. And I was able to see that, first of all, I'm here for a reason. I'm not here just to be here. What is that reason? And as I learned me better, then my purpose came into fruition after I started learning who I am as like ReGina, and that means queen. That's what I was named after. I was not conducting myself as such.
Yeah, so many of the times we don't really even like ourselves, and it makes us difficult to step into our purpose or even to have what I call a vibrant life. Now, you
Right.
use the phrase wring out your sponge. What does that mean? And where did that come from?
Well, I have my own podcast. It's called Let's Talk 1943. And I was talking to one of my guests and one of my co-hosts. I had mentioned in a response of my guest, I said, so it's like wringing out your sponge, like wringing out all your insecurities, your low self-esteem. And then you have now room to absorb new ideas, new processes, and new belief systems. And my co-host said, wait a minute, what did you just say? I said, like, wring out your sponge. She said, that's a great metaphor. I never heard of it in that way, to use it for mental, because that is more people, everybody can relate to wringing out a sponge. But when I brought it into the attention of mental health, she was like, you got to do something with that. You have to do something with that. So I said, you know what? Okay, I'll think about it. And so in the process of thinking about it, I came up with a whole program for it. And that is my model now. Like that's what I go by, because you have to wring out and get all that stuff out. You cannot put new stuff in a sponge that is already oversaturated. It will just roll right off. You have to completely wring it out, and now you're able to absorb new. So when I really thought about it, I said, that's most people. We walk around here just saturated with stuff that wasn't even given to us by us. It was our parents, friends, co-workers, whatever, that gave you their belief systems and what they believe in and what they want to do. And we just do it and don't think about, is this what I want to do, or this is what other people want me to do? And so now when you wring all that out and start fresh, it's like the sky open, right? I always used the movie The Matrix. How people were living in this bubble. All of a sudden, when the Matrix was revealed, people were like, oh my gosh, I didn't know I was living like this. That's the way most of us live our lives, in the Matrix. And we have to give time to learn who we are, to be able to figure out, what am I here for? And it takes a lot of deep diving. And a lot of people are scared to scratch and get past the surface. So
They definitely are. I know I have been as well. So, what are some steps to going through? I mean, wringing out your sponge, to me, I think about wringing out myself. That doesn't feel very fun, but what what are some steps that people do to get there?
Good question, Donna. And you're absolutely right. It's not fun. That's why a lot of people are not ready. When I decided to really get involved with myself and understanding this, I wanted to tell everyone, I want to go to the rooftop. I wanted to scream this to everyone like, oh my gosh, you don't understand how I feel. You don't understand how great it is to live for you. And you're not worrying about other people think about you. You living your dream. You trying new stuff. You don't care. You just want to try it. Like, I never was like that. I was so concerned about what everybody else was thinking about me, or what would they say if I did this, or what did they say if I did that. I never lived for me. And when I started telling my friends and family, my close people, I had to realize in the lesson, everyone is not ready. Just because you're ready doesn't mean everyone is ready. Now, you could drop seeds in people and just live your life, and they'll see through you how you conducting your life. And then sometimes people will grasp on and say, you know what? I like the way she's living now. She seems happier. Let me figure out what it is. And then let them come to you. Just keep dropping seeds. But when I first came out, I was so excited about it. I was just like, going to everyone like, okay, you do your work. Okay, here's a book I read. This is what I did. This is what I said. This, I talked to my life coach and she said, and they're like, whatever. Like, I'm not into all that. And I understand, because I wasn't either. I had to remember where I was at too. So it kind of humbled me to realize everyone is not going to be ready just because you're ready. But that's where it came from. It's like doing my work. I had a life coach. And that started everything. And I was ready to receive. I could tell you the same thing I tell someone else. And if they're not able to receive it, it goes over their head. That's why they wasn't ready. They didn't wring it out yet. I was so ready. I was so tired of being sick and tired. I was just, Don, you ever get to a point that you just tired of this living this life that is not supposed to be your life. And I claimed my life.
Totally get all of that. And it's planting seeds, just like you said. And every seed that you plant will reap a harvest. It's just timing on all of that. Now, for me, part of refreshing what I believe about me and wringing out my sponge is a lot of times my expectations on the way I've looked at things that haven't gone right in my life, or perhaps failure. So tell me what failure means to you.
Now, what you just said, the way we look at things that were not supposed to be beneficial or it was negative, right? First of all, what we see as negative is the problem right there. Mindsets have to be changed. So you have to change your mindset to see what you see as negative, first of all. So one of my things that I say is, it's not happening to you, it's happening for you. If you see life that way, you'll understand that everything that happened, even good or bad, what you consider good or bad, it has a purpose, is meant to happen to you. Learning that lesson in that valley is your job. Now, a lot of us don't learn the lesson because we're too busy complaining about what just happened, because we have been trained to say this is bad or this is good. But some of the things that we consider quote unquote bad is actually good for us. We just want what we want right now. And if we don't get it right now, it's bad. And that's not true. You have to understand that we have to learn lessons, and those things that we consider bad are lessons that need to be learned, right? So when I say failure, I see failure. Now, failure basically says you're not successful in whatever your endeavor is. If you do something, you're not successful. First of all, how can you tell me that? Who is this person that's telling people that if I try something and it doesn't turn out the way the world decides it should go, that I failed? Failure means to me doing absolutely nothing. That's what failure means to me. If I go out there and pursue something or try something or attempt at something, I am successful, because what? I at least went out and did it. You're sitting here telling me it failed when you didn't even haven't tried it not one time. So who are you to tell me what's failure and what's not when you haven't done anything? And I had to realize that a lot of people in my life that was telling me things were scared, and they never go outside a box because they scared that life is going to laugh at them, or someone's going to look and say, oh, you tried this, but it was not like the way I would have done it, or it's not the way the results I would have said, what was good and what's bad. I said, you know what? I decided, I was asked to do a radio show. Have I ever done that before? No. Okay. I'm going to learn when I do it. Oh, it's not going to be perfect at first, but what's perfection? What is that? See, a lot of times we put these labels and these levels on us, and it's like, what is that? I'm being me. If I'm your cup of tea, you'll listen. If not, you won't. That's why we got different types for people to do certain things. You're doing your show. You have people that follow you. You have people that believe that you're doing the greatest thing ever, right? Those are the people for you. If some people don't believe in that, let them go. I learned how to release stuff. And when you do that, you don't put so much pressure on you to try to please everybody out there. You're not going to do it. You're not everybody's cup of tea. It's not going to happen. You're going to disappoint yourself every time.
I relate so much, and I'm sitting here laughing at. I love your analogy that we trying to please everyone is never going to happen, and the only thing I'm required to do is to be me 100%, in allowing myself to learn and grow. And I love it from the day I met you. I love your sass. I just love I love it. And not everybody relates to that, but it's okay.
Nope.
It's who God created you to be, to have that little bit of edge, that little bit of sass, and you're going to tell people like it is. That's why we get along.
But you're right, Donna. That's it. I had to be me, and believe me, maybe 4 or 5 years ago, this is who I am, but I wouldn't show this to you because I would say, well, I'm supposed to be like this. I'm supposed to sit like this. I'm supposed to say this. I got to be, politically correct. I can't say this. I was like, you know what? I can't. I'm 54 now. I'm done with that. You like me, you like me. You don't, you don't. It's okay, either or. I'm fine with it. But I think that comes with age, that comes with wisdom, and that comes when you work on you. When you work on you and love yourself enough, a lot of things that used to be important are not no more. Yeah. When you love yourself, you go, look, I love myself more than anything else. So if this is not good for you, okay, but it's good for me. And I'm going to continue on because this is the journey that I'm on. I'm not saying that you're less than. I'm just saying I just know that I'm worth. That's all. I just know my worth. That's it.
So what did gratefulness and gratitude have to do with your whole journey and with wringing out your sponge?
The first thing in my program, the first chapter, the first word when you open up my book is gratefulness. You cannot go past that. There's nothing that I could do for you until you understand what you are grateful for, what is gratefulness, and understanding God gives you these beautiful things every single day, like opening up your eyes, maybe. That's one thing. You're breathing, that's another. You're able to walk from your bed to your bathroom, that's another. You could name thousands of things a day that you could be grateful for. And this is just basic stuff, but basic stuff is what you need to live. I need to walk, talk, I need to eat, I need to blink my eyes, I need to use my fingers. We take a lot of stuff for granted and we think that is just given to us, like we supposed to just have it. There's so many people that don't have these simple things that we consider no big deal that they, in some cases, wish they had, right? When you see life like that, a lot of things, first of all, you're gonna let a lot of stuff go because you're gonna realize it's not that important. It really is not that important. When you want certain things in life, you have to be happy and grateful for the stuff you already have before you're able to attain other stuff. So if I have a car and I barely wash it, I live out of it, my trunk is a closet, I haven't cleaned inside of my car in 6 months, but yet I'm going around talking about I want a new car. How? You can't even take care of the car that you have. How are you going to get blessed for something else when you still don't even value or appreciate what you have? A lot of people want to put the cart in front of the horse. They want to be able to just get, but don't appreciate what they have. And that's the problem. So I always start my program with like, okay, I need you to be grateful that you are who you are first and foremost. And then God woke you up this morning. That's the first thing. If you're not grateful for that, I can't help you because you're not going to see nothing else if you can't be grateful for the simple things in life.
Yeah. It is something every day. Thank you, God, for a brand new, never lived before day. One of my
Clean
favorite,
slate.
one of my
Clean slate.
favorite things.
He gives you a new start every single day. If he says he wants you here and you wake up that next day, it's a brand new day. It's not going to be yesterday. It's not going to be tomorrow. Live in the present, you know, and talking about fear. I can't remember the gentleman's name, and I wish I remember his name to give him his credit, but he had talked about past, present, and future. You can't be scared of the past because it already happened. You're in the present, so there's nothing to be scared of because you live in it as we speak. You can't be scared or be fearful of the present because it's not here. So where do fear fit in this? Where's failure and fear? You can't have it because you can't do it in the past, you can't do it in the future, and you live in it now. So who designed that? It's not real. It's just an emotion. It's just a feeling that comes and goes. It doesn't stay with you. You're not happy every day, 24 hours a day. You're not sad every day, 20, because all these feelings come and go. So if you have a fearful or a failure fear or whatever it is, give it a moment, it will pass. Acknowledge it. Say, okay, I feel it. I see it. I'm a little scared right now. All right, good. Now let's go ahead and move on because I got things to do. Because I could be scared about being on the radio last night, but I had to do it. So why sit in something that I can't entertain you too long. I had about a good 30 seconds to be scared. And then I had to go on and do this show. It's all how you think. If you change that mindset, everything will have its place. Acknowledge it and move on.
Yeah. What are some other things that you would like to share for people to take away today?
I would say, live your life. If you don't know how to live your life, that means you don't know who you are. First step is, if you need to seek help, if you want to get therapy, life coaching, you could go to YouTube University. You could go to Audibles. There's so many self-help books out there you could start with to get your brain intrigued into learning more. That's what I did. I started with YouTube. And then, well, I had my life coach, but I kind of digged into more things. And as I did that, it made me more aware and more interested in digging something else. It just builds on top of each other. Then you'll be able to get that foundation of knowing that there's so much more for you out here than what you're giving yourself, right? The people you see on TV and living these lives can be you too. Because we all get the same opportunities. Nobody's different. Everyone gets the same opportunity. Is about how and what you do with it. That's number one. Number two is know your tribe. I would tell you, if you look around you, that's who you are. Know your tribe. Just because you've been with people since you was in the 8th grade doesn't mean they're supposed to stay with you all this time. Sometimes you got to reevaluate your tribe and see if there's still value in these people to be in your lives. You do not owe anyone anything. Your time sometimes has been passed already, and we are holding on to people that's not supposed to be there, and we wonder why we have all these headaches in our lives because we're not letting people go. Because for some reason, we've been taught was, if you know someone, you're supposed to know them for the rest of your life. Now, you could know them, but they don't have to be in your intimate tribe. They could just be associates or people you hang out with once or twice a year. You don't have to claim everyone just because they're your friend. You could say, listen, I know where to put you. Learn where to put your people. Because sometimes we sabotage ourselves by having people in our lives that are not supposed to be there. So I would tell people, look at your tribe. See if these people will still be there.
So I'm curious, how can people get in touch with you? And what is your gift that you are sharing with everyone who attends today?
Yes. So Donna, you could reach me on my website, www.rsenterprises.life, www.rsenterprises.life. Everything you need to know about me is on my website. If you're interested in my books, you can reach me on Amazon by my name, ReGina R. Smithwick, and all my books would be there. And I would like to give a nice sheet. It's actually a Wring Out Your Sponge sheet. And I give you so many, like maybe 15 quotes that you could kind of follow. And it gives you encouragement and empowerment and uplifting. It's motivating. So I would love to give that out to your listeners and watchers.
Wonderful. I'm so thankful for all that you're doing to make the world a better place. And she has some other books too. Do you want to mention them?
Sure. I have a lot of self-help books. So I have Wring Out Your Sponge, and I have the journal guide and the journal. So journal guide helps you learn how to journal, because some people don't know how to journal. You just get a blank paper and they look at it and like, I don't know what to write. So I prompt you in the journal to write certain things so you can kind of get practice. I have a book to help podcasters be able to structure their shows. So it's called Powerful Podcasting. I have a book for that. I have actually a book about my adoption, because I'm an adopted child. So it's called Adoption, the Unknown Blessing. I have that book that I wrote. That was my first book. I have a conference book for people who go to conferences. And, a lot of times you go to conferences, you jot a piece of paper here, a tablet there, you got papers everywhere. Well, this book you could take to everything you go to, any conference, any meeting, and you can write in one book, and everything you have is right there. And I give you exactly what to write in there to keep up with your notes. I'm a professional organizer, so I love stuff like this. So I have organizing stuff. I love organization. So it will definitely keep you organized. So I have that book as well. I had did a compilation about mothers. I just released that. Well, I didn't. I was a co-author, but the main author, we released it in May, right on Mother's Day weekend. It's about mothers and the love for our mothers. And I had an adopted mother and a birth mother. So I talked about that experience of having two mothers in that book, a compilation book that's on Amazon. So I would say to you, if you look under ReGina R. Smithwick, you will see all my books on Amazon.
Wonderful.
Be able to find me on Amazon.
That is beautiful. Thank you for sharing today. And I look forward to our further conversations.
And I am. And before we leave, I would like to say, Donna, first of all, I want to thank you. I want to personally and publicly thank you for always remembering me. You always, write on my posts, and you always keep me in loop, and you always invite me to these functions and these beautiful platforms that you have. I want to say I don't take it for granted, because there's a lot of people doing what we do, and you don't have to think about me. So I'm glad that God put my name in your head for you to call me. So thank you so much, and continue to do what you're doing. You're doing amazing work, and I know us women value and appreciate you because you get us out there. So thank you so much.
You are very welcome. It is my pleasure. And I'll look forward to talking to you soon.
All right. Thank you.
I am so blessed to have these empowering, amazing women in my life and in my tribe. I really love what she was talking about around life isn't happening to us. I like to say it is life is happening with us, that we are co-creators of our life. We can't change and we're not responsible for everything that happens to us, but we can learn it, to use it, to grow, and to become all that God created us to be, to live more vibrantly. It's what I call developing your spiritual intelligence, and it changes everything. I look forward to talking to you in your personal VIP spiritual intelligence method consultation, so that you can live your best life ever, the life of your dreams. Until next time, this is Donna wishing you an amazing day.